Um, Hi guys, this is a video for the explanation of project farmers, um, which we have done to submit as a prototype for the Amazon Web Services hackathon conducted by HackerEarth. So let's get started. Um, so yeah, so I've started sharing my screen. So yeah, you can see that basically the objective of our project pharmacy is to ease the work of farmers by providing them with different opportunities of selling their product in different parts of the state. So for doing that, first of all, we wanted to create a website uh, which can display. I mean, farmers can add their products and end users being the distributors in the particular city can see and buy these crops and pay for the transport charges incurred to them to transport that particular crop from the farmer's hometown to the end user's present town. And then um, so that was basically our project. So basically we'll be starting with our user.js file. So in this, in the user.js, we are having different methods here. So you can start with first we'll be initializing an instance of our database class, and then we'll be reading the data inside each database using that class. And then in users API, we have a login post method and sign up post method because we want the information being entered by user not to be seen on the URL tab. So we are user the post request for that, so that the necessary fields can be provided in the form of body. And then we have these three methods. So I'll start explaining each of the method. So first, let's see who are the users present in our database. So we can see that we have three users with the name of Chanakya and Zod and again Chanakya. So that let's start with the user ID, first user ID. So we'll be sending a get request to get this information from the database using our API. So I'll be starting with the users tab, and then I'll specify the users username, and then I'll be sending that request. And we can see that the fields which are necessary have been sent back by the API as a response. So we have the user ID field and whether he's a farmer or end user, and then his name, his mail ID, his mobile number, and his city and his location. This location is again uh, taken at the start when the user creates his account. And then uh, we have the uh, you know like post methods in which when the user first time tries to sign up for the uh, website, then we are taking uh, from the front end, we'll be processing the entire body into the back end, and I mean into the API. And then in the back end we'll try to insert them into our database. um, So let's just try this sign up thing. So we'll be so yeah, let me share my screen. There's something problem. Hmm. Yeah. So you can see that when we made that kitty123 users request, we can see that the information has been is being displayed on the screen. And then when the user wants to sign up for the first time, so it should be a post request, and first we have to specify the URL, and then we can say that it's a post request which contains the body, and then say like we'll be reading all these fields which are necessary fields. So for now, like say so let's just say that this is our object, and we want to like say we want to add a user with the ID of kitty131, and then let's just say that for now the user has entered his password as 123456 and let's just say that he's an end user. So and the user, and then let's just say his name is General Zod. And let's just say that he's having a mail ID of sword@gmail.com. And let's just say that he's from Mysore and his locations are location global positioning system coordinates are these. Uh, and then so now since we have specified all the necessary fields, we can send it as a post request. And then yeah, we got the response, and now we can see that user kitty131 will be added uh, into our database, which is profile.json. So we can see that the new user has been added in the form of an object, and user and all his information. And to ensure that the security is not compromised, uh, so we have also written one more like a function for that, to using the bcrypt package. So what we are doing is like basically hashing it with the salt, and we're storing the hashed password in the database so that even the attacker cannot do anything unless our salt and the complete algorithm which we are using. And then so basically that's how the information gets added into our profile.json, which is the profile database, and how it is being added into auth.json, which is the authorization database. And then we have the product.js file. So this product.js file, basically this is used for like it helps the farmers to add their products add the products into the database, and like we'll be displaying them on the end user side, like all the products from all the farmers, so that like end users can see all the different products being offered by different farmers, and like order whatever product they want. So first route slash directly like products will give you all the products that are present in the database. And then we have the post request, like whenever a farmer decides to add a new crop into the database. This method will be helpful in achieving that task. And then we have the particular like when a farmer wants to one particular farmer wants to see all his products that he has added into the website. So then based on his id, user id, we have written a get method so that only the products which were added by the farmer will be displayed. And then we have a delete method to delete the particular product. And so I'll be first I'll be starting with the getting all the products in my database. So let's just say that API / product. So there is something wrong. Let me tell. Just a minute. There is something wrong with my. Yeah, this is. Yeah. So yeah, so basically, let's just say that for now, the only product is tomato, and the quantity is 100 that's present in the database. And then we have a price of 10 per kg quoted by the farmer. So the next thing will be we have written a dynamic formula such that only the quantity is more than 0, then only that products will be displayed in the end user page. Otherwise will not be displaying that product. And then whenever a end user buys a particular quantity of the available crop, we have to subtract that particular availability, the quantity that was bought by the end user. We have to separate that from the product database so that next users can only see the available amount, not the starting amount which was entered by the farmer. And then let's just say this post method, how we are adding new crop. So let's just say that let's just copy this. And then we are making a post request to the product API. And then this product ID field is generated dynamically inside the code, so no need to specify that in the body. And then let's just say that the farmer's user ID is 123 kitty123, and his crop name, now let's just change it to potato. And then let's just say that he's having a quantity of say 500 kgs, and he's quoting a price of 20 rupees. So this is the post API written for the product to insert data into the product. And then we can see that the data is inserted successfully, and there is an ID created for this product. So we can also see that in our database. So where is that product.json here? So we can see that our product is added here. And then the next method is getting all the products that are particular to a particular user. So for now we have only kitty123. So only these products will be shown when if we call that API. And then next we can move on to the order.js, which is again, where is that file? Order.js. Yeah. So in this order.js, basically to get all the orders made by a particular farmer or end user, we have written this get method so that it will return all the orders which were made by a end user or a farmer. I mean, end user makes the orders, and farmers will receive the orders. So to display them based on their username, we have written one get API for that, and then we have this post method, which like whenever the user want to order something, we have from the front end in the form of body, we'll be getting all these fields like farmer username, user ID, and then we have request crop name and quantity and what's the price, and then we have written a function just like specified um, in the last example, like we should be separating the quantity from the uh, database whenever like a end user buys that crop. So let's just say that we want to make a new order, say that say we are having now 500 kgs. So what I'll be doing is I'll be using the order API. And it's a post request, and we'll specify the necessary fields which are present inside them. So for now we have the F user ID, and then we have the E user ID, that is the end user ID, and then we have product ID and crop name and quantity and price requirement. So those are the required fields. So to ease this, I'll open the order.json and I'll copy this object. Then this order is a new generated dynamically, which will be useful when we write a delete API for this. And then let's say the farmer who is selling this crop is Kitty123, so F user ID is correct only. And then we have E user ID. So E user ID, let's just say that for now Kitty12, we have say like profile.json. Yeah, so we have Kitty131 as an end user, so we can specify that too. But for now we are using only Kitty125. So I'm specifying that as Kitty125 because the price API, like when I explain the price API, you'll come to know like why I was using only Kitty125 now. And then we have the product ID. We have the product ID. So we have to specify the same product ID as the one we have added previously. So yeah, so this is the product ID, and crop name is potato. Yeah, so crop name is potato, and say that we are purchasing a quantity of say three quantity of 300 from this crop added previously. So when I send this request, uh, just a minute, there is something wrong with my request. Where's the orders? Okay, it's not order.js, it's orders.js. So specify orders, and then I'll be processing this, and we can see that this end user has bought a weight of 300 kgs out of that 500 kgs. So now we can go into the products API page, product, and we can see that we can see that we can see that the quantity which was previously 500, it got reduced to 200 because we have bought the 300 kgs. This was added because like by mistake I've pressed the post request. So and then so that's about the order.json. order.js, like basically what happens is like order.js will be specifying the all the necessary information, and then finally when the order is successful, we have to separate that quantity from the product database so that the new value can be seen by all other users present on the network. And then finally we have this price.js, which is written with the help of a here maps API. So we have like in this we'll just specify the like product ID in the ID get request, and then like it will be calculating the amount of charges that has to be paid by end user to buy that particular product. And to calculate the distance, we have used this here maps API, which will make a call, and like the final data will be get processed and will be shown in the front end. So for now, like let's just say that let's go to our orders.json, and since it's a starting from product.json, yeah, it's here. So let's just say that some end user with the name of kitty125 wanted to order this. So let's give it as an API input. So that is a price API. And then you have that product ID, which is a necessary field. And then if you are a user, end user, say that if you're kitty125, then the coordinates that are there for the kitty125 will be entered into the API to fetch the distance. And if you are kitty131, these location coordinates will be entered. And if you are kitty127, these coordinates will be entered into the API fetch API. And then if we send the request, we can see that the price, initial price was around 10 rupees for the for the tomato crop when the farmer has added it into the database. But after our dynamic computation formula, application of our dynamic computation formula, the price has been increased by 2 rupees, which is the transport fees we are incurring to the end user. So that is basically the complete backend part. So my friend Chanakya will explain you about the front end. Chanakya, you can continue. Like website of the front end, VM based on following activity want to financial and just open the students.
So the front end is hosted in localhost 3000, unlike API, which is hosted in another port, which is 3100. Here we designed a front end system to use that API. Here and this user will log in. This page, this is the home page, so where user will log in, and this is sign up page where user, if a new user comes, he needs to sign up here. And we made the users into two different types. One is like farmer, another one is the buyer who buys from the farmer. Once he registers, he goes to his home page. As you can see, we use a Next.js for the front end, which also uses React. So here we use file based routing, where we create a file for every page. File, see, as you can see, .tsx files, these are the pages, and this is a dynamic route for every user. Correct. At the moment, we made the login work, but the sessions aren't yet completely. I mean, they haven't been. We can't store and redirect them, so it's quite not possible yet to actually have a authentication system. I'll show you the example. Let email address be something, password, or a farmer. Once all this is entered and press register. So sorry, post request is not. Oh, this is sorry, this is not yet been implemented. Okay, I'll skip this authentication part as it is not yet completed. And coming to users, since once user logins, he'll go to, you can, we can write a code that where the after he logins he can be redirected to his profile. For example, we know in API we have a user name tt123. Let me type that. As you can see, this is we use dynamic routing here for every user who has, for every user who has his name entered in database, that it will show in this dynamic route. So if we enter anything other than what's present in database users, it will give an error, user not found error. And all this, it will fetch all the data of user from the API through API itself. So and remaining pages include dashboard. This is where you, if a farmer or user, where he can see what orders he placed or order history, transactions, or his whatever crops products he added if he is a farmer. But this is not yet been implemented, so for now this is like a template. And this is, and other pages include add crops, where if the user type is a farmer, he will get this option where he can add crops, and this we can store this data using the API. And other pages include order space, where if the user is a the user is a buyer who he wants to buy, he'll get to, this is like a cart page where the orders he wishes to buy will be shown here, including the weight or cost, everything. And this is also been not yet completely implemented. That is all what we have done in the front end part. Thank you.
So that was our project. Actually, like since the time was very less, we were unable to complete the front end part, and but we have completed the templating thing, and almost everything is done. But there was some problem with the authentication and the front end routing of the APIs, and there was some problem with the map API too. So there was a delay in the project than the expected time of delivery. But this was basically our project, and like like if it was completed completely, we would have seen a full complete working application of what we've specified in the requirements. And so thank you for listening and watching this video. uh, Bye everyone.